Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing great and hope you're reading a good book and let us know what it is. And we'll start with Tiffany so I don't forget. What are you reading?
So I finished The Other Good Guy or
Mm-hmm.
whatever that was. It was all right.
So good, you can't remember the title.
It's like got a funny, The Other Good Guy, let me see.
It's one I've never heard of.
Mm-mm.
Well, I don't know what I read it on. Hold on. Right now I'm reading The Silent Patient, just so you know. I am
Ooh.
at
Now, I'm curious how you're going to like that one because that one seems to be hit or miss with.
That's a
people.
polarizing one, I
Yeah,
think.
it's either you love it or you hate it.
it's
I love the idea for this vlog, though, Tiffany. I think it's fantastic.
And it's going to end up being titled, I Read Thrillers.
Yeah. Meh.
You should definitely read the one I suggested yesterday. You would like it, I think.
Okay. I'll tell you what the other one I just finished was called in a minute. Oh, I know where I read it at. Hold on. No, not from there either. I have too many libraries, too many subscription services.
Tell me about it.
Somebody else go and I'll tell you as soon as I find it.
Okay,
So,
Sarah, what are you reading?
I am reading, actually, because I had to drive into the hospital today and back, which was 2.5 hours, and I ain't getting back in my time. So I ended up picking up Fangirl Down on audio. And I'm now 70% of the way through it. I'm really liking the audio, but it's gotten spicy. Storm, you know, Tessa Bailey, spicy. And I'm in the car driving with the windows up with a headphone in, and I'm still like, can other people hear this?
Is there anybody hiding in the back seat?
You know, like, did somebody, is this too loud? Should I turn it down? Like, it was like, I'm like, I need my vapors. But no, I'm actually really liking it because the main character, she has, I think is it type 2 diabetes where you have to give yourself insulin? She's insulin dependent diabetic. And she has a lot of commentary on growing up and what it was like being kind of sheltered by her parents. Mm-hmm. And as someone with a condition as well, I can appreciate where she's coming from. So I like that commentary on it. And I like that Tessa Bailey does great banter. So I'm going to listen to some more of that while I work on my sweater. And I also got out of the library to listen to, look at me back on audiobooks. Did you know Betty Henchman has a new book out, a new series?
Yes, I knew, but I haven't.
And I got the first book. It was available on audio from the library. It just came out last week. So it's Crochet and Crumpets. It's a cozy mystery, and it's about like a crochet shop and like a, what do you call it? Like
Who's the narrator?
Who's the narrator? I do not know. I can tell you in just a second. Because I know you guys are big on the narrator. I'm like, whoever it is, it is.
Well, no, it's like her other two series has the same narrator, and I get them confused because they're so easy. And so I was wondering if it was a different narrator.
Margaret Strom?
Don't know it.
I know that name. But I can't remember if that's the one. But
yeah. But anyway, I'll be listening to after. So I'll probably
they're both about yarn. The ones that
Yarn to Go and the crochet one.
Yeah. And so they're very similar, and they got the same narrator. And I'm like, wait, am I reading about Casey or am I reading about, the Tarzan hookers or whatever? Which one am I doing? And so I had to put the one down and like concentrate on the one so I could get like the one.
Yeah, get it done first and then go on to the next one. That's funny.
How about you, Tammy?
Well, I'm gonna be bouncing around between 3 books. I have by Kate Clyde's Mystery on Magnolia Circle. And this is a middle grade book about a girl who has broken her leg and a boy who has his dog has passed away. Aww. And they think it's going to be a horrible summer, and they're looking out the window and they see what they think is a crime that they're going to solve. It gives me middle grade meets Rear Window.
I was just going to say that. Rear Window.
Okay.
And then I've had this series on my shelf for a couple of years, and I know you've read one of them, Tiffany, but it's by Diane Valier, A Disguise to Die For.
Yes, it was one of my favorites of last year.
Yeah, it looks fun. And then, of course, I'm still reading Ring in a Teacup.
What are you thinking about it?
Well, I like it better than Tasmanian Tangle.
Okay, so I liked it, right? But I felt the story was so much more about her than it was about any relationship. It was, do you know what I mean? It was like, I almost felt like not a coming of age, but like it was a story about her learning about herself than it was about her and him.
Well, and I do like it because she feels very young and she's just discovering things, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's cute. It was I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was super cute, you know?
Yeah. I've read a couple of cute ones, and I've liked the really cute ones. And then I've read some of these where the people are so mean.
That's why I was like, how is she getting so lucky with these? Because you read them and you're like, it's so good. I love to give it 5 stars. And I'm like, I read them and I'm like, they hate each other though.
Well, okay. So I saw you hold up a book in a hall maybe last year called Under the Stars of Paris by Mary Burchell. Have you read that yet, Stormy?
No, but I'm working on one that's by the same author.
Okay. Well, if you want one that's going to be fun, that Under the Stars of Paris is really cute.
Okay.
And from what I understand, Mary Burchell, she and her sister during World War II helped 29 Nazi 29 Jewish people that were hiding from the Nazis escape, and then she and her sister, the money they made, they donated to helping those people. Yeah, anyway, I'm not saying it very well, but
it's really interesting.
Look her up, it tells about that.
Yeah, it's really interesting whenever you look up the authors and see what, kind of, some of the authors you can find so much about, and then the other ones you can't find anything.
They were born and now they're dead. Like that's the entire they were born, they wrote some books, now they're dead.
Cinderella After Midnight.
Who's that one by?
It's by Mary Burchell.
Oh, okay.
And everything. And Sock told me, the one that has the bargain, what is it? Bargain argument?
Bargain counter argument.
Yeah, that's it. Bargain counter argument. She said, I think, or was it you, Tammy? I can't remember, that this cover is for a whole bunch of different.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, because I have a couple of books with that cover too, but they're all different titles. So I think they must have used that cover on a bunch of books that they were bringing back.
I was going to say, maybe it explains why there's so much going on, because I'm like, there's so many different women, there's so many different men, and I'm like, she going to have a really good summer or what?
She's going to have a party according to that book or that cover.
Right? But this one is her aunt is sending her on like a 3-month holiday or whatever. That's why I was like, and stuff. And
that's what I mean.
It's so unreal that her aunt's doing that. And she and her aunt's doing it because she wants her to find her a husband instead of getting a job, wants her to find a husband. But if she was there, then all the attention would be on her. So it's good to send you away because her aunt's really full of herself.
Jeez. Good Lord.
I bet you'll like that book. I bet you will.
But so that's the retro that I'm reading. But I really need to work on mystery, because I need to read the Mystery of the Scottish Highlands, because I totally forgot that I need to read the second one next month. It needs to be done by like the 6th of the month, because I do a blog tour and I haven't read the first one yet. So I'm like, kind of need to get this one finished. So I may not get another retro done, but I'll work a little bit on this one, but it'll be mostly on the mystery, I think, and stuff. But that's what I'm reading.
I did find that book, and the one I finished was One of the Good Guys.
Oh,
that's what the title was.
I give it 3
stars.
Celebrate a book finish. That's the best I can do, Tiffany. I'm sorry.
Oh, I loved it.
That makes me think of wave your hands in the air, wave them like this.
This was me at the club back in my 20s. I wonder why nobody invited me to go.
And so Hi Pat says, good evening, everyone. I had labs and doctor's appointment today, and I'm exhausted. Happy reading, everyone. And don't forget to thumbs up.
Thank
you,
Pat. Thanks.
And hi, Mary Jo says, happy Monday. Hope everyone is well. And she is still reading Dangerous by Amanda Quick. But under 100 pages. So she should get it done this week. Yay.
Wonderful.
Are you liking it? I hope you're liking it.
That's the question, right?
Yeah, since it took your whole month, I hope you're liking it.
Right.
I don't want somebody to read a retro and not like it.
You know?
And see, Mother Goose says, hi all, I'm reading the Best Life book club, as well as started something else, but not decided on what yet. Daughter and I cooked minestrone soup together along with homemade bread.
Ooh, homemade bread.
Delicious.
Hi, Esther James says, I'm reading The Fool on the Hill in the Convertible by Donna Amos Davis. And I love it so far.
What's up, Presley?
That's the surf shop cozy mystery.
It's got a cool cover.
Yes, it does.
You gonna say hi to the people?
Singing groups mentioned so far: the Beatles, the Monkees, main character driving a VW bug like I did in 1967.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lovely.
That's cool. Hi, Cap says, good evening. I'm reading Red Rover by Perry Elizabeth Kirkpatrick. New to me author, comedy spy romance. I'm about to find out.
I did not expect when you read that title. I thought it was
Right?
I thought it'd be something scary. And I think I just had recess flashbacks.
Yeah, I know. And Mother Goose said to Esther James, sounds like a good one. Yeah. And Amy says, hello, everyone. Hi, Amy says, I started Elementary She Read by Vicki Delaney today, so I'll be continuing it tonight. Awesome.
Excellent.
Hello, Reading Robbie says, hey, happy Monday. I'm reading Killer Kung Pao and eating lasagna for supper. Yummy.
Yay. I love that series. Oh.
And, okay, Cozy Fam Bam. Is it Jessica?
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Says, happy Monday. I have a few books going at the moment. I'm focusing on Misha the Bad Demon, middle grade fantasy graphic novel, and The Girl Left Behind by M. William Phillips.
Jess, you were the one that was saying that you might read one of the good guys. I'm going to message you about something just so you have a heads up. It might be listed in the book, but I'm not sure. I just want to, since I didn't have the luxury, I would love to pass it on to someone else just so they know it's coming.
Mm.
And Annie says, hi all, I'm reading The Dead Cry Justice by Rosemary Simpson. Yay, I like that series, which I need to get back to that one.
Mm-hmm.
I was caught up and now I'm not. And Annie says to Esther Jane, I love that book. Cool. Nadine says, hi everyone, continuing to read Brotherhood in Death by J.D. Robb, number 42 at the Death series. My dinner is a BLT on white toast.
Oh, yum.
And Maura says, happy Monday, everyone. I just started A Grilled Suspect, Stony Brook's number 9 by Aaron Scott.
Yay.
I really enjoy this series. Supper is minestrone soup, toast, and cheese.
Yep.
2 for minestrone.
Anybody else having minestrone?
Yeah, I know. Wow. And Cajun says, hi, everyone. I'm reading Something Borrowed in Seabury number 14. And Nadine says, Esther Jane, Seeing the Monkees was the first concert I attended. That is so
wow.
cool.
Hey, what are the
My aunt absolutely hated the Monkees, but it's a big story on why she hated the Monkees.
Oh.
And Esther James says to Mother Goose, it was one of Tiffany's suggestions in her March Mystery Madness video.
Excellent.
And hello, Nancy says, hi, everyone. Continuing to read To Con a Gentleman by Sarah Adams at 72% now before Spence. Cool. And Rita and Robbie says, I just saw your Rebecca read along, Sarah. I'm so excited to join in. I've been wanting to read this for a long time.
It's so
I'm going
good.
to have to try to see if I can squeeze it into my gigantic TBR.
Like I said,
Have you not read it,
you'll still
Stormy?
have 4 days. What's that, Tammy?
Have you not read it, Stormy?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Right?
you gotta read it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna reread it for like the 5th time.
Yeah, this would be, I think, my third. I didn't read it till I was in my third. It was my mom's favorite book.
I
She read it at
will
13.
say I started at one point and I got bored, but I just didn't give it. I don't think I gave it.
Rebecca.
I didn't give it like a really long time. I was just, and it might have been just the audio. I don't know, but I was just
Fair
like,
enough. That's fair enough.
And
Girl, if I finished Tasmanian Tangle, you can finish Rebecca.
Whoa.
Once you get into it,
Someone's
believe
thrown
me,
down there for you.
We got some throwdown going on.
it's about to hit the fan, people.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it
Welcome back, Tammy. Welcome back.
another try.
Tammy, how are you doing?
Yeah, how are you
Well,
doing?
I'm actually, today is the, okay, so I was telling Sarah that I was finally past the pain. I was sore and I was hurting, but I wasn't feeling any pain. And today's actually the first day that I feel pretty good. I mean, it's still sore, but I feel pretty good. I've got my leg and knee and ankle and everything propped up here, but I may have to go after one sprint. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
I go to
So
the
happy to hear
surgeon
that.
tomorrow. If he says nothing's moved, then I won't have to do surgery.
Oh, we'll keep
So,
our fingers
fingers
crossed.
and toes
for you. That'd be
crossed.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're starting to, at least feel the recovery,
And
happening.
those
That's
pain
amazing.
medications are just lovely.
And
They are, and I'm about out of them, so the timing's good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm feeling good because I've been keeping up on those today. I don't
You know
know.
what? That's what the hospital told me. They said, don't be a hero.
yeah.
They're like, take them
Yeah.
if you need them,
Yeah, if you let it last, then it gets out of your system, and it takes
Yes,
several
it
days
does.
for it to start working again.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Esther Jane says, Annie, I'm not far in. I'm loving the references. I graduated from high school in 1967.
Wow.
Oh, yay. She's reading it too. Good.
Awesome.
And Amy says to Nadine, I just finished Shadows in Death, number 51 in the In Death series by J.D. Robb. It's one of my favorite series. I've been reading them for years now. And Cajun said, Esther Jane and to Nadine, I Am a Believer was the first record I ever owned. My uncle bought for me for my third birthday. Third birthday? My third birthday. I was so proud of it.
Oh, I told Esther Jane, but and I think Cajun might have been the person that told me about it. But there is a Beatles cozy mystery. The first book is called Larceny in Liverpool. I read it. I really, really enjoyed it. The main character, it was really told really in an interesting way because the main character was the president of the Beatles fan club in the 60s. And she's being interviewed by somebody and then tells this big story of this mystery to to a journalist, to like a young journalist. I thought it was great. I need to get back.
And those mysteries aren't murder mysteries either.
The first one didn't have a murder in it. I don't know about the others, but the first one, the mystery was not a murder. There was a mystery, but it wasn't a murder. I want to get back to a couple to the rest of them. I just haven't. But just so if anybody's interested, because I know that several people were like, "Oh, I love the Beatles and this references," so I just thought I'd throw it out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Mother Goose said that Nadine and Esther Jane, I love the Monkees TV show. In the 80s, MTV played the reruns. It's the Monkees TV show is why my aunt absolutely hates the Monkees.
Oh,
She was a teenager and she liked to write, and she wrote an episode. She was so happy of this like show she had written and everything, and she had a producer. They lived in California. She had a producer that lived next to him, but he was gone, and he says, don't show it to anybody, don't send it off till I get back and I can help you with it. But she was so excited. She sent it off anyway. They wrote back to her and said, sorry, we can't use this. And it was the first episode of The Monkeys.
You're kidding.
Oh.
Wow.
Almost word for word, she said it was the first. So she's hated the monkeys like ever since. That was
No
her.
doubt.
Yeah. You couldn't mention the word monkeys in her presence.
Oh my gosh.
Aw.
So yeah. So that's why you copyright things or you wait until that producer you know.
That's right.
It's like,
That's
but
crazy.
being a kid, she was so excited. And,
Oh, no doubt.
and yeah, and then after that, she never really wrote like anything. She would write us things. She would always make us some really cool, like, stories about ourselves and things like that for like Christmas, birthdays, and give them to us and things.
Mm-hmm.
She was a really cool artist
That's
as well.
so neat.
But she just never done anything with it after that because I think that kind of just stilted that sending things off to people. And so Nadine says, Amy, I'm trying to read 2 books a month. So at the rate, I'll be at 51 in July.
Oh, for the in-depth. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Our cat says, hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I am eating dinner, a hamburger steak, brown rice, and gravy. Yummy.
Sounds
And
really good.
Nancy said to Amy, wow, good for you. I think I've read 4. Yeah, I'm on number 3 of that series. So
I have no, the length of that series, I'm like, no, I'm not even touching it with a 10-foot pole.
It's, a lot of people absolutely love it. I'm still on the fence about it, but since it is such a big series, I think like there's the build up that if you continue, it gets maybe a little bit better. But I'll give it a few more and decide, I think. But it's not something that's like, oh, I got to read the next one right
My aunt really liked it, and she would read, but she read them completely out of order. She would just pick up whatever one, which is, I'm sure, making you twitch, Storm.
Yes.
She would pick up whatever one she could grab at the library, and then she would hand them to my dad, and my dad read them too, and he really enjoyed them. But, she's like, I don't know which ones I've read, and I thought, this is why you read in order.
And
True.
Esther Jane says, and Nadine, I've never seen them, but I love the TV show. And Milmax says, hi, everyone. Currently reading Ripped from the Pages by Kate Carlisle, number 9 in the Bibliophile series, and Of Blood and Bone by Nora Roberts, which is number 2, and the Chronicles of the One trilogy.
Excellent.
And I will read one more, and then we need to get into a reading sprint. And so I have Amy says to Nadine, I read the first 40 books back to back in 2014.
Holy moly. Wow.
I could not do that.
And Jess, I messaged you. So whenever you get the opportunity.
And so we'll go ahead and read to the top of the hour. And so happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading.
What you do?
So how did everybody do?
Good. I am at, well, I don't know where I'm at. I'm on chapter 7, and I think it's like 65% or something like that, approximately. And it's
meh.
meh. I'm not like disliking it, but I'm also not entranced either, so I don't know.
Fair enough. I am 76% of the way through Fangirl Down, and I hit that scene.
Oh,
and I went fast forward.
My ears don't need to hear. My ears don't.
That's
need
right,
to
exactly, yeah. and then I'm working on my sweater, and I'm at the point where I'm to separate the sleeves from the body, which is exciting. But I'm reading the pattern, and they give an option of doing this like shaping in the back to make it fit better. So you can do it or you can't. It's up to you. And like, I kind of want to try it, but I read through it like 4 times. I'm like, I want to make sure I know what I'm doing before I do it. So I was concentrating on that for a bit. But yes, that's how mine went. How about you, Tammy?
I read 43 pages in this book, and I'm loving it. But it's an easy read. That's why I got so much done.
What
and
was
I read
that
about
again?
That one's called Mystery on Magnolia Circle.
I need to look that one up because it sounds like it could.
And then I read about 20 pages in Ring and a Teacup, and I did not even start this one yet. But I have to tell you, Sarah, you've inspired me to start doing some cross stitch again. I used to love to do counted cross stitch, and so I had ordered some kits. I don't know, about a month ago. And I got one that's some bookmarkers that I'm working on.
Nice.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe on my weekly reads and wrap up. I didn't do it today because I forgot. But maybe when I do that at the end, I'll show what I've been working on with my handwork. So
yes, people like when I show the stuff, people love it.
Yeah,
I get so many comments to show it. So yeah, and if you really want to fall down a rabbit hole, search floss tube.
Oh, that's dangerous, I'm sure.
It's podcasts of people just cross stitching and showing their cross stitch.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's Rainy over at Rainy Day Reads does one.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to fall down a rabbit hole, we won't see you again for months.
I like to live vicarious through other people's cross stitch because I just don't think my eyes could do it. I used to love doing it whenever I was younger, though. I loved cross stitching. It was fun.
Yep.
But with those little squares, I'm just
I didn't see, I stitch on 14 count because that's the smallest I can go. That's what my eyes can handle. But the pattern keeper that I use, it's all electronic. So, I don't use a paper pattern. It is all, there's no way I could stitch without this. I could not stitch off a paper pattern. My eyes couldn't take it.
Yeah. Because you can make that bigger, right?
Just like like a book or whatever, right? So, yeah.
That's cool. Oh, I read, I was working on Mystery of the Scottish Highlands. I'm 48% into it, so.
Nice.
I got a ways to go before I can start the other one, so I'm like, I gotta hurry up and get through this. And I'm liking it just fine. It's a cozy mystery. It's kind of older lady, which I would say, I can't remember exactly, but I'm gonna say like maybe in her early 60s or something. She's retired, I believe. She used to be a television researcher.
Okay.
So like to make sure things are accurate and things like that on TV shows and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And she's retired now, and she's found that she fell in love with this malt house, and it was for sale. So she bought it and made it a B&B kind of thing. And so she's got like 4 rooms that she can let out. And then of course there was a guy there who was saying that he's the rightful heir to the Earl's estate or whatever, but he's from America, but he's got proof that it should be him. And then of course he's the one that dies. And so in her backyard, kind of, because he was staying at her B&B and everything. So she's trying to figure it out. Now she's got his brother and his flamboyant kind of fiance has showed up, and they're all wanting to know what happened to Wilbur. And and the Earl is very flirty because he's an older guy too, probably around the same age. And he's very, very flirty and doesn't take no for an answer very well. And see, I said it's a perfect example of like yesterday when we were talking about like the one old man who we thought was funny.
Yep.
This guy who's like, you're just borderline on creepy, okay?
Yes.
She finally told him, she's like, listen, I will be your friend, but stop with the whole like, innuendos and all these kind of things or whatever it is. I don't want any of that. I'm fine being single. I don't mind being your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
Great.
Absolutely.
So he still gets a little flirty though.
Oh,
I think it's just him.
No, I'm at 80%. It is chapter 7 though, so the chapter's not, but I'm at 80%. I guess I thought I was not as far along because not a lot's happened. Like
that's why
I don't want to say where I'm at because I don't want to spoil it. But if anybody that's read it, I can tell I just don't feel like much has happened. Like,
see, and that's my problem with thrillers.
When the book started. I don't know.
That's my problem with a lot of thrillers is because it's that build up until that very end plot twist on a lot of them, and then you're supposed to do shock and awe or whatever it is. And to me, I'm like, no, I was bored up until okay, now it got interesting, but I don't care. And so that's why I'm really hit or miss with thrillers.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening. I'm just stepping away for a sec.
Esther said to Mother Goose, I did too in the book they mentioned. I did too in the book they mentioned I'm a believer. And so talking about that one book still. And Amy says, I have been reading the rest slowly over the years as they release, but I fell behind lately. Oh, shame on you.
Wow.
Now you got to catch back up. Hi, Lisa says, good evening, everyone. So glad I'm able to join. Yeah, I'm glad you got to join too.
We are happy to have you, Lisa.
And Kat says, I'll be reading, hopefully finishing, The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owens. Are you still enjoying that? I know you were liking it when you were talking about it in like one of your live sprints. Almost made me want to pick it up, even though I wasn't interested in it at the time because she was making it sound really interesting. So it's like one of those that I like tagged on Libby for maybe if I feel like a fantasy involving, like mythic gods or whatever and stuff like that. So I think it was
that's a big compliment when you can talk somebody into reading a book that they have no interest in reading. Yeah.
Right.
That's like more about you and your ability to talk about books, and so that's a pretty big compliment.
It's about Hades and Persephone book, I think, and she was making it sound really interesting. Hello, Robin says good evening, all.
Hey, Robin.
And Emily says I'm working on dishes, and then I will be reading the Westing game. Cool.
Nice.
And Nancy says, I really like The Silent Patient.
See, that's nice. That.
Yep. And then Nadine said, Amy, I will admit I'm already planning to reread the books, especially the first ones.
Wow.
Nice.
And Emily says, finish the mysterious affair at Styles this morning. Yay.
Excellent. That was her novella that she was reading.
Did you like it? I liked it. That was my first.
The 250-page novella that she was
reading. Yeah, her 250-page novella.
Hi, Roxy. Hello, everyone. I'm reading Fangirl Down by Tessa Bailey. So we also barbecued on the pit, so we'll be eating some barbecue meat.
So Roxy, because I know she mentioned it to me in the thing, she looked up what that scene was. It's between the 70 and 75% mark of the book. In case you want to fast forward.
And hi, Anita says, hey guys, tonight I'm continuing to read The Wedding Planner and deal with the CEO, Harley Quinn, Okay, read Wedding Planner Deal with the CEO, a Harlequin romance. There we go.
Who is that by?
And
Nina Meline. Nice.
Says, and see, and Emily, I did not like the silent patient.
I have a feeling though Emily tends to be someone that's really tough one. Like she, you know, like she's like you, Stormy. You really gotta wow her.
And Regina says, hey everyone, still at work. Hi Regina, hope you're doing well. Hope it's almost time for you to go home from work.
Yes.
And hi Angel says, hi everyone. I'm going to try to read more of Middle Tide. Hi, Regina says, or Renee says, happy Monday, everyone. Thinking of reading That Could Be Enough by Alyssa Colton. Historical romance.
Raina, I did not know until like really recently. I've read The Reluctant Royals by Alyssa Cole, and I didn't know that she did historical. So
she does thrillers too, Tiffany.
Yeah.
I saw that. And I didn't know that either. I thought, you know, so, Raina, have you read a historical by her before, and what did you think? Let me know.
Did she write the Civil War ones?
I don't know. Like I said, I read The Reluctant Royals and really liked that series.
I read An Extraordinary Union. I've read her historicals. They're really good.
And then, yeah, today when I was looking at thrillers that were available, because I'm pretty much to what's available, my doctor's appointment's getting closer, y'all. It's in 4 days.
Yeah. You'll be okay, honey.
You'll be okay.
Anyways, I lost my train of thought thinking about the eye doctor.
We were looking up, we found our thrillers on.
Oh, yeah, I found our thrillers. And Sarah, I had no idea. I was like, is this to say? I had to look and see. Because that name could be like one of those names. That could very well be a duplicate name, but it's not. It's her.
Nalini Singh, who writes those urban whatever ones that the side changelings that Amy over at Zoe Beckler, she's written thrillers too, and hers are really good. They're set in New Zealand.
Oh,
yes, they're really good.
I didn't.
Yeah, I remember you reading one, but I haven't tried them yet.
Yeah, I like them.
And that's why I thought I said type 1.
There's a whole vlog, romance writers writing thrillers, because Maisie Yates has done it too.
Maisie Yates has written
thrillers? But under the name Elle Banks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
Emily said type 1, you have to give yourself insulin. One of my brothers was type 1. That's what I thought when you said it was type 1.
I couldn't remember.
I think you might possibly have to do insulin for both types, but it's more like, was it born or is it
interesting
after? I think, because I know someone who's type 2 that does as well, so there must be.
I think it depends on how bad your type 2.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think both types you can, but I think it's actually whether it was something born or later onset. I think it's the different types, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because type 2 is the one that you get, like, a lot of times you get later in life and things.
Yeah.
The type 1, I think, you can be born.
Like, I always think Stacy from the Babysitters Club.
Yeah.
And Amy said to Nadine, I love the early in-death books best myself. And Kat says, I'm in the minority with The Silent Patient. I really enjoyed the first half, but the second half, not so much. It was a 3-star read for me. Not terrible, but an okay read.
That's where I'm at. Although I don't know that I really enjoyed the first half. I don't mean I hated it by any means. I just feel like literally there's been no progress. We are still at 80% in the same spot from where we started. And I'm like, okay.
Tiffany's like, why do people like these things? This is boring.
It's gotta keep chugging along at some point, you know. I really love thrillers. I love the idea of thrillers. But I don't want to be scared. I just want to like be shocked with a twist, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
And see, and I think that's the thing. I need a little bit more of not that I think it's scary, but a little bit more faster paced. And a lot of times those have a little bit more of that high stakes and a little bit more scarier that you wouldn't probably like.
And the more that you read them, it's like, because like the first thriller I think that I read was that one by Lisa Jewell that I recommended to you. And to me, it was like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? But now some of them are like, yeah, okay, we can do better. You know what I mean, Storm? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of them is like, if I'm about 40% into it and I'm like so bored, I'm like, okay, I give up.
Yep.
Throwing in the towel. I don't care if it gets better. I don't care if that twist is really cool.
She's like, I'm not here for this.
Hey, Sonia says, hello, sweet friends. I hope you had a wonderful day. Leaving work in a bit. Wanted to say hi. Well, hello.
Hi, bestie.
And Regina said, reading Death Checked Out by Leanne Dobrinska.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a library cozy, though.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob says, I'm reading Midnight at the Blackbird Cafe. So glad you're doing better, Tammy.
Yes. No.
I can't see the comments until you put each one up on my phone.
Oh.
So when my mom and dad show up, it always surprises me.
Oh, that's adorable.
And I know you said they were small. That's why I was like, and Bob.
Yeah, besides that, it's so tiny on my phone.
And Bob.
And Barbara says, good afternoon, friends. I'm reading Framed. It is only 42 pages. Don't judge. I need the win. I'm
Absolutely no
so
judgment.
old, so eating Werther's Originals.
Ooh,
Delicious, Barb. Delish.
I love Werther's.
I am all for a quick 42 page.
100%. Nothing like a good quickie. Sorry.
And Esther James says, type 1 insulin. I have type 2 no insulin.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And Sarah's, I did not know that. Off to find it. So
Don't remember what it was. That's okay.
I don't know.
remember. And Nancy says, I just looked up Silent Patient and I gave it 5 stars. I read it a long time ago and I don't really remember it.
It was super excellent is what she's saying.
It was great at the time. She gave it 5
Yep.
stars. Yeah. And Cajun says, I really liked Crochet and Crumpets. I was so glad to see something by her again. See, I thought Cajun had read it. I was like,
Yep.
I know somebody that I knew read it.
I really like the cover. It's very retro looking to me. Like, it just looks so fun.
Mm. And Kim says, hey, y'all, watching a live stream of my boys' game. They're losing 6-3. He's pitching. So worried about his arm. And CNC Barbara says, I am type 2 and I'm on insulin. So
yeah, so it really does depend, I think.
Yeah.
It does. My mom
depends on how bad it is, how bad you're.
Correct.
Yeah. My mom she's type 2 and she's on insulin too.
Because that was like the one thing when my dad was in the hospital and stuff. The food they were giving him really wasn't diabetic friendly. And then when his like sugar was high, they're like, oh, insulin. They would just pop him with the insulin, and stuff. And he's like, I don't want them to put me on insulin. And I'm like, Dad, it's just because you're in the hospital and everything. They're, they're worried more about you like eating this food and getting better and all that stuff. And they're just going to pop you with it. And I said, you can tell them if they try to give you a prescription of it that, no, you don't want it because you've been fine. And once we got him home, his blood sugar went down and he's been fine and everything. But yeah, so. Well, and then we had how is your recovery going? But you've already told us about that. So. And then Emily says type 1 is juvenile, type 2 is adult. And then Cajun says, okay, but couldn't middle grade Rear Window have left the dog alone though?
Right? I agree.
Yeah.
It's good though because these kids are both dealing with they're just both struggling with their own things and they're finding that they can help each other out.
Well, I was like, that's a kid trauma though. That's a kid trauma.
Well, that's it. Are you kidding me? That's an adult trauma.
Yeah, it is an adult, but I mean, what?
No, I know.
Are you going to give a kid for trauma?
It's usually a kid's first dealing with something dying would be a pet, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And Michelle, hello, says, hi all. I'm hoping to finish Wild Love by Elsie Silvers tonight.
Yay. Nice. Have you read the Chestnut Springs, Michelle?
And Barbara says, I hope you're feeling better, Tammy. Also have happy pills if you need them. By happy pills, I mean Flintstones vitamins. Fred is always smiling.
It's
I
funny
have
'cause
those sitting in on the kitchen counter for the girls.
right? I have 2 hydromorphone pills still left from my really good pills that they sent me home with. And I don't know why I have them. I should just toss them because I'm never going to use them again. But this part of me is like, just hold on to them just in case.
And just says, Barbara, those vitamins are next level.
Especially if you get the gummy ones.
Yeah, I think I like the gummy ones. And Melmac says, I have Disguise to Die For on my March TBR.
Yay!
And Robin says, y'all might be used to be by now. I am reading book 36 for the month, which is book 86 for the whole year.
Wow.
Quiet Wife by Diana Sexton.
That is awesome.
That's amazing.
Hello,
Oh,
Mr.
when press came by.
And Kitty,
yeah, he took up the whole screen.
And she said, Tiffany, yes, please message me. I have one of the good guys requested from the library. And Lee says, hi, everyone. Reading Across the Ages by Gabrielle Myers and eating takeout Chinese. Oh, yummy.
I love
Chinese.
Oh, that sounds good.
And Jess says, my partner went to one of our libraries today and asked him to pick out a few books as surprise for me. He come home with It Takes Two to Mango. I just heard about last night on live.
Yeah, we did just talk about that.
That is awesome.
And Barbara says, I think we all need to take a moment of silence for Joann's Fabrics. All stores are now closing.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's a bummer.
I didn't know that. That is a bummer.
Kim says, I think I'm going to fix chicken and rice.
Ooh, yum.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And Jess says, Barbara, thank you for sharing that news. I hadn't heard it yet. God, that is so sad. Emily, I've not read Rebecca either.
Wow.
And Nadine says, confession time, I haven't read Rebecca either.
Now I know how y'all feel when I said that I never saw Goonies.
It's a crime.
Crime.
And just says, I love Tammy's fighting words and hype for this book. Living for it. And hi, Liz says, good evening, ladies. And oh, look, Cat's Novel Adventures. I haven't read Rebecca either. Well, see, Cat, she's doing a read along in March, so.
Come on.
When you all get around to reading this, you're going to say, oh, why didn't I read this earlier? Because I could be on my 3rd reread by now.
That's what I said when I first read it. I'm like, why didn't I read this sooner?
And Morris says, fingers and toes crossed for you, Tammy. And thank you, Sarah. I bought Rebecca.
All right, it's been a live show. Somebody made a purchase.
That's right. That's
I
right.
have to ask you, Sarah, have you read My Cousin Rachel by her?
I read Jamaica Inn by her, but I do want to read everything by her.
Well, if Rebecca's a 10, My Cousin Rachel is like a 9.73624.
That's what I've heard.
That's very specific.
Which rounded up would be
a 10. Yeah, essentially, yeah. No, I do. I want to get to that one. That's what I've heard. But for some reason, I just picked up Jamaica Inn for whatever reason. I liked that one. I thought it was fun. I know not everybody enjoyed it, but I thought it was a fun enough read.
Yeah.
Her life story, Daphne du Maurier's life story, is pretty interesting too. I listened to a podcast on it. It was fascinating.
Cajun says, if your body is fighting pain, that takes away from the healing. Nurse told me that after my surgery.
Well, that's true.
Donna says, I just started reading the first book in the Ellie Alexander's new series.
Is that the bookshop one that I didn't care for?
The Secret Bookcase.
I do want to start at one and see what I think, like from the beginning, you know?
Yeah. You should.
Is that the one where you read it out of order or something?
Like at most things, yes.
Yeah. But that one has it does have a story. It does have an overarching mystery that goes through the whole series. So I think that if you read one, maybe it's not the series for you, but it might be because
that's what I mean. I want to go back and try
is
one
a lot
and
that
see.
that's one that it does need to be read in order.
Plus,
because
I think
of the story.
I've been in a bit of an audiobook like weird place for the last few months. So, but I'm starting to get out of it now. So maybe that was part of it too.
Could you feel the eye roll in the tone?
I can just sense it. I can close my eyes and see it, Storm. Same as you can see it from me when I.
And so this is hi Cajun and everyone else in the chat. Say hi. And Emily says this is true, Cajun, but those pain meds are also highly addictive. I almost got addicted after my gallbladder surgery. The nurse said you could become addicted as little as in 2 days. You know, the pills they gave me for my gallbladder surgery whenever I came home, I did not like them. I would rather be sore. I was like, give me ibuprofen or whatever, because I couldn't get up out of the bed. I was so like heavy. I was like, I had to go to the bathroom and couldn't get out of the bed. And I'm like, no, I'm like, nope, I'm not taking any more. I tossed them. I was like, nope, no more for me.
What got me was that a week after transplant, they're like, we'll give you the hydromorphone if you want it. But really, right now, we're just going to give you Tylenol extra strength. A week after a transplant. Here's some Tylenol extra strength. I'm like, sure, okay. But that's the reason why, is they don't want you to get.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I've done many years of substance abuse counseling, and there were points where I was working with adults and I saw people who like had never, ever done eat alcohol, nothing, fell off a ladder, and now they're a heroin addict. I mean, like again, and like, I mean, obviously there's other stories too, but I mean, I've saw it with my own. And so every doctor I have thinks that I am a recovering addict because I tell every new doctor that I don't take any form of narcotic, because I've seen it happen with my own eyes repeatedly. And I just, now, I mean, maybe if I had major surgery and they were like, hey, I mean, like a heart something like that, at least a couple days of it. I'm not saying, but like for the most part, I don't care what's going on.
Absolutely.
Give me Tylenol 3. It's fine. I'll, because it's scary.
Yeah, well, that was just my one experience with like super duper pain meds after I had been, because I'm sure I was on them while I was in the hospital because I was in ICU and stuff, but I wasn't trying to get up. I was laying there. So, I mean, and everything.
Well,
but just trying to get up, and I was so heavy and I just felt weird. Yes. And I'm like, why do people want to feel like this? I don't know. I was like,
I often would only take them at night just to help me sleep.
Yeah.
Because I was laying in bed so much that my back was starting to hurt. It wasn't my chest. It was my back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to go to sleep. You know what I mean? So like,
I get that because I have a lot of back pain when I'm trying to sleep.
So. I have a tight back, right? So, hi, Missy. Come on up.
And Morris said, that's awful, Storm, man. I'm pretty sure that's about the story with my aunt or whatever. Yeah. It's And Emily says, so take the meds with caution. It can also cause constipation.
Because they gave me meds for that too. So they sent me home with this and the meds for that.
Yep. And Mary Jo says, I never got into the In-Death series. There are just so many. I don't think I would ever catch up. Yeah. They're sometimes a long series like that can be kind of intimidating. And that's why I'm not super into it. Maybe if I get into it, then I'll be like, oh, I can just read one, more and more. But right now, it's just like, it's okay. I don't like Eve, and I think you need to like Eve. Well, and I still think Rourke is suspicious. I still think I only read 2, and I don't know.
It's an urban fantasy, right?
No, it's a kind of like a futuristic time.
Yeah, that's not my jam. So that's, no.
Because it's like 2050 something or like that. It's like
which is like tomorrow.
Yeah. Not as futuristic as it was when she first started.
Yes, you're adorable. Yes, everyone loves you. Yes.
Oh, I just noticed.
I mean, she is really adorable.
She is. She knows it.
Okay, so I'm going to do another reading sprint to the top of the
Oh,
hour.
just before we go, because in case Tammy jumps out, because
Okay.
I have a bunch of cross stitch. I know you're stitching on little things, but I have these little houses that someone sent me. So this is a little church.
So cute.
But I don't, like I said, I don't really stitch on. So I'm going to photocopy these. Shh. And then if you want, I can send some to you.
Oh, I will be very quiet about it.
Okay. Well, I'll send you a message in Discord later, but I wanted to show you because it's like a whole little village.
Oh, fun.
Like a
cute.
bookshop.
Isn't that where they
and,
like put them together and like make a
my
little
friend Mandy, she stitched them and then she made them into like a bunting.
board, like a yeah.
That because they're Christmassy and she hung them up on the yeah.
That's so cute.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. So we'll share
I was like, they're really
like.
good for like borders and things. Like you could do like
Right?
borders of them and stuff.
Don't eat my knitting. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and read to the top of the hours. Okay.
Happy reading.
Happy reading, everyone.
Hi, Bubby.
So how'd everybody do?
Sorry about that. I'm at 91% in the silent patient. I feel like I'm gonna really be unhappy with the direction this is going.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure yet. But the stuff that they're hitting at is it's just as someone who's in social services and it just, oh gosh, it's so overplayed. It's just unrealistic and over. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing too. Like when it comes to like something like that, your work plays into like how much you'll believe about some things, I guess, and what they're doing and all that stuff when it comes to stuff like
Yeah,
that.
if you have knowledge of something, I was saying that to my mom. I said, if I ever see something now in a medical show where they're doing a transplant, I'll be like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
that is so not how it happens.
that is not how that happened. I finished the chapter that I was listening to of Fangirl Down, and I got to the certain place in my knitting, and I said, that's it for the night. So I've been sitting here watching YouTube for a bit.
Nice.
Yeah. How'd you do, Tammy?
Excuse me. I almost got 2 chapters done in this. Let me turn it the right way. I had forgotten, Tiffany, that you said the disguise shop was called Disguise Delimit.
Yeah.
Well, that's delightful.
I love it so much.
I'm liking it though.
I got to 54% into the mystery then.
Excellent.
Oh, nice.
Got over the hump is what I always say, because once you get to 50%, it seems like it's like, oh no, he's get to the end. And,
get up here, ma'am.
Hi, Emily says, hi everyone, happy Monday. I started the Mysteries of Pendower Hall by Siri James. It's on KU. It's historical romance mystery.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And then our other Emily says, I wonder what the total page count to date is for J.D. Robb series and how that compares to Wheel of Time or Sanderson's Cosmere.
I saw her comment, and on the first sprint, I went on Amazon and I looked at the page count of the first 5 those books. They average about 350 pages per book, times 61 books is almost 22,000 pages. So there you go. Emily, there's the math. I don't know anything about the Sanderson books. Or
She's like, you math the Cosmere.
Yeah, you math the rest. I did the first math. You can do second math.
Wow.
This is a group project.
Wow.
Emily says, I just saw a press release that all Joanne stores are now going out of business.
That's a bummer.
That's too bad. I have a memory of the day after Thanksgiving. What is that shopping called when you go the day after? Black Friday, yeah. My dad and I went and did some Black Friday shopping at Joann's early, and it was crazy. We had a good time. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I remember going Black Friday shopping with my mom at the mall, and the whole time it's like, what on earth were we thinking? It was so busy. It was come time to eat, and you got the food court, and we're all looking around. We got our food, but we don't have. It was like, where are we gonna sit? It was so busy. There was this little old man and his little grandson or whatever. Was like, you guys can sit with us if you want, and it's like,
oh,
okay. So we went over there, sat with these total strangers, and ate our meal. But
oh, that was
yeah. And Sarah says, hi friends. Not sure how late I make it start a new job. And now I have to be there at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Not sure why. I thought the post office would be later. You got to get all that stuff sorted before you can do your thing.
But then you finish earlier.
Yeah.
I'm a morning person. I'd rather start at like 6
I would too.
And be done at 2.
I would too.
Yeah. When I worked at McDonald's, I worked 5 to 1. And
yep.
I hated getting up early. It was horrible, but I liked being out.
Exactly.
And Liz says, I didn't read that sprint, but getting suitcase packed, getting ready for her trip.
Very
and then
Sweet, have a great time.
her boy lost 9-8. That was close.
But that was a good comeback because it was like 6-3 or something like that.
He said he played a good game. So, and Sarah Beth says, Sarah, were you reading on a Kindle Fire or was that a Kindle or a Kobo e-reader? I get excited when people read on tablets. I read on my iPad more than my Kindle paper.
I do not read on my Kindle Fire. No, I use that for my cross stitch. I read on my Kobo or my Kindle Paperwhite. I can't read off that backlit screen, like that bright backlit screen like an iPad.
I used to until I got my Paperwhite.
Hurts my eyes. Yeah, now I'm spoiled.
Yeah. And Lisa says, I was able to read 15 pages in Lucky Pucker by Hillary Rose book during the sprint. Now time to let the dogs out.
The dogs
and hi, and I don't know, is it Phoebe or
I think so.
I'm not sure. If I'm like horribly mispronouncing that, you can let me know. But oops, pushed the wrong thing. Says this Teresa, I don't know. Okay, maybe it's that sprint I'm going to be, or
maybe.
I'm going to read Rebecca for March, and my birthday is next Thursday, March 6th, and I will be 69. So
you're the day after me, but I will be a little bit younger than that.
Okay, and
is it really next Wednesday? No.
Birthday, everybody.
My birthday is not next Wednesday. That's not possible. Oh my God, it is.
What's the date?
The 5th. I'll be 29 again.
29 again.
And she's also currently reading Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance.
I read that a couple years ago. It was okay.
Well, look, we got to finish. Annie finished my book. I'm skipping like percentages and things so that.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Because we're kind of behind in the comments. Mm-hmm. And hey, Sam says Sam Speaks Geek says I just got home and just joined. Awesome. And then I believe your name is Rachel. If I'm wrong, you can tell me. But it says, hey, Storm, hopped. And hey, Tammy. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Bookworm. I think maybe.
It must be to Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany. Okay, yeah. And I hope I'm not used to somebody saying Bookworm, but
right. But like, doesn't everybody know who Tiffany is?
That's okay. We're having a wonderful day. We're having a wonderful day. And
responded to a lot worse. It's totally fine. You can call me.
And Robin wanted to know, Donna, what is the name of the Elliot Alexander's new book?
Is it?
I don't remember what the first book is called, but the series is The Secret Bookcase. I just can't think of book one.
Emily says, great sprints, everyone. I journaled this past sprint, but plan to read in the next one. Cool. Hi, Crafty Annie says, hi, y'all. And Emily says, I've been crocheting lately. I've never cross-stitched.
I want to learn how to crochet. Crochet, because I don't know how.
I love crochet.
I prefer crochet, but if you can knit, then you can crochet. Because
my thing is trying to tension the yarn. I have to learn how to tension the yarn. That's where I have a hard time.
And gotcha. Cajun said she used to cross stitch on 22 count. Whoa. I think 2 count would be too small for now.
There's Sarah, there's something you can buy that helps with the tension.
Okay.
Like learning the tension, like at a Michael's or something.
Yeah.
There's a thing you can buy and it will like
mine, because when I do like the first row, it always was too tight. And this one lady that used to go to church, she always says to whatever the needle is or whatever the crochet hook that you're going to be using, get one bigger than the one that you're going to use for your project and do your chain and then go back to that one and do the rest of it. So
for me, when I say tension, I mean holding the yarn in my hand and tensioning it enough to, because when I knit, and I've had people in my knitting group tell me, you hold the yarn wrong. Because I actually wrap it around my hand twice just to get decent enough tension for me to, right?
I think everybody does. I've seen
everybody does it a different way.
Yeah,
it's just like leave people alone. It's not perfect, you know.
I'm like, as long as you can do your thing with it. And you know, I watch some TikToks, and you watch there's girls doing their lives and they're crocheting, doing their lives, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you know, you do, you know," and they're just, and I'm like, how can you do that and not pay? I'd have to look, and they're just.
If I'm knitting on a pair of socks, I can do it without looking. If I'm just knitting, I can do it without looking.
I can if I'm just doing like a double crochet, like no pattern.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're doing
and no counting, then you know, because I like to do that so I can watch TV and just or
correct.
You know,
that's why I want to learn how to crochet, because I want to make some blankets and stuff, because I think they'd be a lot quicker.
Probably.
I'm gonna be making a Taylor Swift doll, crocheting a Taylor Swift doll for my my granddaughter Amelia for her birthday.
Oh, that's so amazing. That's cute.
I'll have to show it off when it's done.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my husband actually crochets stuffies. He can crochet stuffies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's made a bunch of them.
Lisa wished she could crochet, but she didn't have enough patience. I agree. Sometimes, yeah. My problem is I don't want to be a beginner. I want to make the cool stuff.
Right.
And you have to, like, you know, do the, you know, learn how to do it and stuff. But I'm like, no, I want to make a sweater.
Yeah.
Well, that's when I first started knitting. And I've told this story before, but when I first started knitting, there was a lady that I worked with. She was an older lady, and she knew everything. She was one of those people. And she said, "Oh, what is it that you want? You should start with a dishcloth or a scarf or something." And I said, "Well, I want to knit a pair of socks. That was my draw. I wanted." Oh, no. So you can't knit socks. You're years from knitting socks. Oh yeah, watch me. And I swear, 2 weeks later, I'm like, "This is a sock."
I could just see stares like challenge accepted.
Right, exactly. Challenge accepted.
And Nancy is reading on Takana, a Gentleman by Sarah Adams, and enjoying it.
Excellent.
And Liz says, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm going to be reading number 5, Down the Impossible 3, the Babysitter's Girl."
Yay!
Dawn in the Impossible,
Liz.
Mm-hmm.
And Crafty Annie says, "I've been reading The Witch's Wolf by Heather K. Carson, and I'm on chapter 11, and it's pretty good so far."
Nice.
And Mary Jo, I love The Silent Patient.
See, so many conflicting.
Well, that's why I said it's either I don't like this, or I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anybody be like, it was okay. It was either I hate it or I didn't like it. You know, I liked it. And so Nancy says, "I got a name of the book from Sarah reviewing some books to read." And Crafty Annie says, "I've been crocheting on happy hats for a friend."
Oh, that's sweet.
That's lovely.
I love that.
And whoops, my internet is having hiccups. Yeah, while I was trying to read that. Okay. And Liz says, "Tiffany, I have an doctor's appointment tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to it."
I'm sorry.
You have some Valium to take so that you can be like,
I need it. I need it.
Yeah. Is Kevin going? Hold your hand.
No, I don't think he's going with me. Are you? The doctor.
Aww.
You need him for moral support. Emily says, "My brother wasn't home
born.
Wasn't born when he got into junior high, but it is still considered juvenile. The diabetes, I guess." And Emily says, "I thought The Silent Patient was predictable, and the twist was not a twist." And Michelle says, "Tiffany, have you tried B.A. Paris? I liked The Therapist a
lot." I've had other people recommend it. I don't know about it because I'm like, ooh, it's kind of there'd be a lot of like me trying to pick up discrepancies, and I don't know that I would enjoy it because I just feel like I'd be like,
picking it apart.
Oh, it
No,
happens.
that can't
This is
happen.
not-
You can't do that. No, that can't happen. You can't.
We would never
That's
do
fair.
this. So, but I appreciate it. I might try something else by B.A. Pierce because I feel like they've written quite a few
Yeah.
thrillers. I don't know about that one. It might be fantastic. I just think that I'd pick it apart.
Yeah, that's
If
fair.
you want to try something by her, try Behind Closed Doors. That's one of my favorite all-time books, and it's got a pretty good twist. Yeah.
Behind Closed Doors. I'm looking now. Thank you.
And Emily says my brother's pancreas produced no insulin and is basically destroyed. Hey, Breezy, long time no see.
Breezy, I saw her in a comment the other day on my videos. I was like, Breezy,
I know she commented on mine. Like,
you.
hello, I signed in to listen while I do a few chores after
Hold
work.
on. Hi, Breezy.
And Crochet Mima says, just put the Magnolia Circle on my list. Thank girls.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. Love middle grade mysteries. Yeah, that's why I was like, that sounds like something I would like, and I've never heard of it. So I did.
Well, I'll tell you, I did my weekly reads and wrap up this morning, and there was another book by her called 43 Old Cemetery Road.
Ooh.
And that is the first book in a series by her, a middle grade book too. And that is one of the funnest books I've ever read in middle grade. So if you want to read the Magnolia Circle one, check out her 43 Old Cemetery Road series. That's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Or go watch my video and then you can see me talk about it, because I show some illustrations in there and everything too.
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't got to watch that yet, so I need to do that.
Yeah, and it's completely epistolary. It has letters. There are some other things that are not epistolary. I guess there's newspaper articles and there's
mixed media, then kind of.
Yeah, mixed media, mostly epistolary, but some mixed media in there.
Cool.
You would like it, Stormy.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out because I've not heard of those, and I like my middle grade mysteries, so I need to check those out. Nancy says, I just think I'm easy to please with books. LOL. I tend to give mostly good ratings. Guess I never be a critic. That's like me, though. It's like I read for entertainment. So if it entertains me, then it gets a higher score.
That's
if it made me smile or laugh or whatever, it usually gets a higher score. But if I'm bored, it's not getting a high score. I don't care how well written it is. If I'm bored, it doesn't matter. And Michelle says, I haven't read Chestnut Springs, Tiffany. I'm not loving Wild Love, but I've heard a lot about the CS series. May try that one or something.
I would definitely try that because I have no interest in reading the series that starts with Wild Love because it's like all a single parent series. And I just don't think that would be, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be a trope in a book, but like the whole series is just not going to keep my attention because it's not that I don't like kids. I'm not going to cook them and eat them, but like, it's not my thing either.
Well, not under normal circumstances.
But I loved the Chestnut Springs and it's totally different. So at least as far as tropes and stuff. So you might still give it a shot because it was fabulous. But I,
all I could think of when she said that is like, is there candy decorating the outside of your house?
That would be amazing. I wish I could
just in fun prints. I think that's delightful.
And so Jess says, I am no longer have one of the good guys requested from the library. Tiffany is out there doing good work and saving me from emotional trauma. Thank you, Tiffany.
That's what we're here for.
Well, I'm glad.
Glad she could help you. So, and Emily says, I didn't like Wild Love either, Michelle. And Kat says, I finished the Games God Plays. I liked it, even though it has a super spicy open door scene. And I enjoy Greek mythology And this was an interesting story incorporating them.
I was going to ask Kat if you've read Neon Gods, but based on your comment there, my guess would be no.
Yeah, she's not a huge romance person anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think, and so I could.
But I'm not a fan of and Neon Gods is considered erotica, but I thought it was really well done, a really good take on Persephone and Hades.
And Emily says, well, and how y'all feel about Rebecca is how I feel about Count of Monte Cristo.
Yep. That's one of my all-time favorite books.
There you go.
Yeah, and see, and I just thought the Count was okay.
I just want a Monte Cristo sandwich now. I
needed the condensed version.
Sarah and I are going to Denny's. You guys can talk about the book.
That's pretty much, yeah. I'll meet you there.
Oh, well, here you go. Angel says I will be joining the readathon of Rebecca.
Yay!
And I'm going to try. I am toying with buying Rebecca.
Well, I mean, I think you can probably get it for 99 cents on a Kindle, or from the library.
Or you can just get one of those pretty copies that, that's probably what she's
like the one that I have that I love. I love my edition.
And see, and I know you guys say I would probably like it because I love Jane Eyre.
You like Jane Eyre.
Yeah. Liz says, I'm off to bed now. Thanks for the sprints.
Liz, have an amazing trip.
Yeah. And Lisa says, I love my cousin Rachel is the tie with Rebecca for me.
Yeah, it's very good.
And Barbara says, I forgot to say my foot has no infection or the leg. When people ask, why did you get the 2 toes amputated? I say, because they tried to kill me, but no more infection. Go me. Yay.
I guess here's the thumbs up. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad there's no more infection for sure.
100%. Yes. Preventative medicine, I guess.
And Emily says, that's interesting, Kat, because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews for Games God Play. And says, it's looking like 4-star read for me. Good pacing, short chapters, lots of action, good chemistry between Lyra and Hades. So, yeah, and she made it sound really interesting when they were talking about it. Because her and I don't remember the lady that she had on her live, but they were both reading it and talking about it.
Yes, Missy.
Nice.
Mary Jo says, my mom got so constipated with pain meds after knee surgery, she ended up in the hospital. Yeah. It can happen, those things. I just don't like pain meds overall because of all the stuff. It's a lot of doctors will prescribe a laxative with narcotic pain meds. Mine did not, but I was for sure not constipated. Well, yeah, and it hits everybody differently too. So
they also sent me home with the Narcan kit when I was sent home just for safety. I'm like, okay.
And Missy Moo, pretty girl.
Yes, you hear that? They like you for some reason. They don't know you're a pain in the bum.
Kat says, I read Jamaica Inn by Demore, and I think I have a copy of Rebecca somewhere in my house. I also have a historical romance by her called The Frenchman's Creek.
Frenchman's Creek, yes.
To read. And Annie says, when I had major surgery, hysterectomy, I was on Tylenol after 3 days. I just made sure it took more of it before it wore off. And I was 8 weeks recovery back then.
Yep.
And Sarah, that is when I need to stop taking the pain meds because I wanted to take it so that I could sleep. I didn't. And no more meds. Yeah. Another cute kitty.
Yes, I have several.
Good night. Hi, PK. Says hi. I posted in a Discord, but sharing that my sprints tomorrow are canceled. Steve broke his wrist last week and now has surgery late tomorrow afternoon. Picking him up will run into the sprinting time.
Well, best of luck with surgery.
All promise to be very careful when we leave here.
Please.
I know. I'm like, I need to just everybody needs to be put in bubble wrap.
Please, yes. Bubble wrap for all.
But PK said regular sprints on Thursday evenings at the Bookie Monster, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, you guys. Yeah. I hope everything goes well.
Yes, absolutely.
And then Kim just telling I will possibly be late, PK. The ball game's at 5. Okie dokie. And a couple of times I've been in the hospital or rehab, they've gave me insulin. I didn't take it normally. Yeah, I think it's just their easy way to not have to deal with things. I think is like just give them insulin.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lisa says, just read another 17 pages and a lucky pucker. I'm going to read an arc after this. Cool.
Nice.
I wanted to tell Tammy, I was just able to grab Behind Closed Doors, so I will be starting that probably later tonight.
Wonderful.
Well, I'm going to bed. It's 9:30, but tomorrow, because I'm at 91% in the other book. So,
and it's so good. You're enjoying it so much. No, I'm just kidding.
And Social Butterfly, hello, says hi all. Missed all the sprints, but I'm glad to see everyone's doing okay. Yeah, and I'm glad you popped in anyway, so that's nice. And Nadine says, I got the second dead body at 50% in my bed.
okay.
How to know you're a mystery
I've
writer.
gotten to a second dead body in mine too. At about 50%. So
Right.
And he says to PK, hope the surgery goes well and see you Thursday. Kim says, my mom and I did Black Friday before it became a nightmare it is now. We would go with my aunt's church she attended and the church bus to Atlanta. That's cool. Although I feel like it's not quite as bad as it was.
Oh no, it's changed.
Now that online is a thing because
Yeah.
a lot of people do that instead.
Yeah.
It is Phoebe, right? Is that how you say
Okay.
it?
Yes, that's.
Or
Cool.
the bee.
The bee?
No, I think it's how she pronounces her name, Phoebe.
Phoebe.
The bee. I got you, Phoebe.
I think.
I got you.
I
Sorry.
think. And he's probably like, oh, these people.
Yeah, sorry.
And he says, I can knit without looking, but not crochet. And falling asleep so night. Good night. We are almost at the end.
Mhm.
And Sarah at crochet, I can't do the wrap around the fingers. I run it between the pointer and the third finger. It works fine.
Okay.
If you need visuals, I can show on a sprint if you let me know.
I'll pop in on Thursday, but I think that's almost how I do my knitting, in a way.
I don't hold it correctly, the yarn, when I crochet either. I can't do it the right way.
Sure, I don't.
Mhm.
I'm not the. I guess
Right.
correct way.
Yeah.
Got a seconds of the behind closed doors.
I picked it
I
up.
think you and I have a lot of the same reading tastes. And she also liked these silent woods too, I think yesterday.
And she just requested number one in the 43-year-old cemetery. So thank you for sharing.
That was so fun.
Hi, Christina says hi, Stormy, Tiffany, and Tammy, and Sarah. Fell asleep and missed the sprints, but wanted to show up. Well,
That's
thank
all right.
you for showing up. Yeah, and pause to hydrate and snack and tell us what is because we's nosy and check the laundry and take the meds and stretch and show some love to the like button. Make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. And then Rachel says, "Oh, hey, Christina." And
Everybody knows Christina.
Right?
And Barbara says, because of Sarah, I got Rebecca for 99 cents.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. Angel says, I hope everyone is who is having surgery or on the mend gets better soon. I second that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Nita says, thank you for the sprints, lady. Have a good night and good week. And I hope to see you soon. Be safe. And there was a hi to Rachel from Christina. And y'all have a good night. And thanks for hosting today, ladies. And enjoy your evening. And thank you so much for the chatties and book recs and the sprints. And hope you all have a cozy week. And that sounds like a good way to end things.
Mm-hmm.
And one more says, yay for progress and finishing today, everyone. So I know everybody's like tired. They're wasting away. I can see.
Tiffany's pumpkining as we speak.
So thank you, ladies, for joining me on here and those in the comments. And I hope you have a good rest of your week. And don't forget PK Sprints on Thursday.
Thanks for hosting, Stormy.
Yep.
See you guys later.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Storm. Bye, everybody. Bye.